Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for L2 Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today, we are covering Zatima, my favorite series that's currently streaming on Paramount Plus. This is season 4B, episodes 11 and 12. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and leave your comments below. Let's get into these 2 episodes. Okay, finally the wait is over. And Zatima is back. Thank God. Whatever was going on with BET Plus and Paramount has been worked out. We lost some shows that were over there, but hey, it is what it is. Just call it the same type of merger that they have for the CW, where they took all the black shows away. So we're praying for our shows that are over there on Paramount Plus, but anyways, we're back. All right, so we start off with Fatima. She has arrived home. She's in the driveway, and we get to see Deja. Deja is crazy. That's the best way I can put it. She's speaking very cryptic, and Fatima don't even know what she's talking about. Of course, she was hiding the fact in regards to Leslie from Zach, but Fatima let her know, Zach knows, and to also thank her for holding her down and all that. So then Deja says, well, I saw your side piece, and she's like, what are you talking about? He's thick and good, la da 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 da. And Fatima still doesn't know what's going on. But then Deja was like, this is another secret. Okay, I can keep another secret for you, Fatima. Anyways, Fatima gets into her home, and she sees this guy there. She immediately pulls open her gun, but he was not scared whatsoever. I thought that was a little bit of a missing aspect of what was going on. I'm not saying he had to be scared, but there should have been some type of defense, something. Just knowing that some woman or someone is pointing a gun at you. Anyways, this guy, his name is Charles. Charles has been hired as Fatima's bodyguard. Of course, Fatima's having a fit because she doesn't want a bodyguard and all that. Da 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 da. So she'll be talking with Zach as soon as he comes home. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Zach gets a call from Connie. Connie finally breaks her pride because now she has no choice. She needs some help from him. And she asks him to come over. And he does agree to come over eventually. He calls Fatima to let her know, look, I got an emergency. I'm not going to come home right away. I have to go see Connie. And Fatima's like, what? He just said, please trust him. I don't know what's all going on, but I got to go over there. Fatima ends up agreeing to it. So since she's going to be alone with Charles there, of course she did go a little bit off with Zach hiring Charles, and she said she's gonna punch him in his arm. Da 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 da. Anyway, so she calls Angela over to say, "Can I have some company?" Angela comes over and is immediately smitten, but Angela is in lust every day, all day, over any man that comes into her sight. So anyways, Charles has to frisk her to make sure that she ain't got nothing going on, and she's happy to oblige. And she's giving all these sexy poses, getting the nooks and crannies and all that stuff. Anyways, Fatima and Angie, they do have a talk. And of course, they talk about Charles and all that. It's like, it'd probably be good for you to have Charles. But then they also talk about Zach being with Connie. And Angie's like, whoa, you just got out the hospital and your fiance is not here? From the optics, yes. However, Fatima decided to keep taking her tail to her job when she should have been resting there. Don't act like Zach is just this horrible person. I'm just being dramatic right now. Don't act like Zach is this horrible person who told Fatima you need to rest. No, you went back into your job. So both of them kind of out of line. Fatima's still trying to learn how to be soft. I don't know if she'll ever get there. And I think that she has to learn how to be maternal too. So we got to see how that goes with her. Anyways, Angie was like, you want to roll up? She said a drive-by. And Fatima's like, what? Why? I ain't talking about no drive, bang, 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 drive-by. You know, just go and see what's up. But all the... you going to go to the hood to see... Fatima said, no, I think that we'll just wait. And I think that Zach will just let me know what's going on. Nothing's going on. And she fully trusts Zach. Good. I'm glad that they're getting to a secure place in their relationship and not flying off at the handle at everything as far as a girl or another guy coming into the mix at all. So, what happened next? Then Zach comes and he has Connie. And Fatima's like, what is going on? So Zach and Fatima, they go have a talk. And Zach explains, look, you can say no. I was like, well, you already brought her here, so what? He explains, you know, Connie's got cancer, her house burned down, her children are gone, and all that stuff. And we just wanted to see if she could just stay here temporarily so that we can help her out. Fatima ends up agreeing, and that's just that on that. Fatima puts on a brave front, all that good stuff, and welcomes Connie into their home, in the Taylor home, and all that good stuff. At this point, Charles is being alleviated from his duties. Zach says, hey, make sure you're here about 7:59 because Fatima goes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Angela asks Charles to walk her to her car or whatever, and he's going to do that. In the meanwhile, of course, Fatima had to see what else they had to eat at the moment because she only made enough for Zach and herself. So she invited her to eat, and finally she's kind of letting down her defenses and guards and all that. But she says, you know, she ended up saying, Fatima, you know, you're my friend too. With the little hesitation there, and I'm glad of that because that's just not realistic. You're now friends with your fiance's ex or your fiance's jump off, the ones that got their rocks off from each other. No, it's been a growing process. It hasn't been an overnight thing, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it, especially because of the circumstances. Anyways, Zach and Fatima, they go to sleep as well as Connie. Next thing you know, they hear this big noise. Now, Fatima's under the covers, and Zach is ASS out. I'm like, wait a minute. He's sleeping, for whatever reason, he's sleeping above the covers. And all we see him is in his boxer briefs. Anyways, both of them wake up from hearing the noise. And he wants to go see. And she said, wait a minute, you just about totally naked. And Connie's down there. Put something on. So they go down there. And Connie's on the floor. She has threw up. And it's bad. She's hurting and all of that. And both of them comfort her. And she just starts crying. So that was the end of episode 11. Alright, so it's a new day. Zach wants a little loving from his wife. They call each other husband and wife anyways, even though they're not officially married. So Fatima gives in. He's trying to work with what he got. I mean, he got a pregnant Fatima. He tries to be on top, but it's not really working. He tries to go by the side, and Fatima's just not feeling it. Then they're hoping that Connie didn't hear her. She said, I heard a little. You know, if you need to finish, I can put on my headphones. And of course, both of them were embarrassed. And Fatima was like, look, you need to go in the bathroom and handle yourself. Zach is upset about that. But anyways, he gets out of the bed, and we get to see what we need to see out of Zach as he trots himself into the bathroom to take care of himself. Roxy wasn't having it. Fatima goes downstairs and sees that Connie has made quite a royal mess trying to cook breakfast for them. And after all the mess that she made, all she got is some cereal for them. Crazy. Connie's trying to offer her help, like, look, if you need me to run some errands and all that. Basically, she doesn't know first how to relax and allow someone else to take care of her, and then also she don't want to be some type of couch potato and all that stuff. So I get the double what is the word, entendre in this whole situation. Like, Connie, chill, but then Connie, I can also see, like, look, I don't want you to act like I can't pull my own weight or anything, but you can't right now. You're in need. You're in need, and it's okay. It's okay to be held and all of that, and hopefully she continues to accept the help. Anyways, Fatima wants to look at her documents as far as with CPS, that's Child Protective Services. Fatima finds out, like, you have an emergency court hearing today. She didn't know that. So Fatima said, I'll help out today and all that good stuff. Zach comes down, and of course he's seeing what type of breakfast is going on. She said, I was trying to make some Italian French toast. And he was like, well, we seeing meatballs. Like, you mean meatballs? I don't know what Connie got going on, whatever. So, but anyways, Fatima informed Zach, like, I'm going to help Connie out today. She's only going to she's going to only have a half day at her job. And Zach was like, you're supposed to be resting. But yeah, but we got to do something for our friend. Da-da-da-da-da. So, Zach ends up calling Charles. What we find out, and we got some explicit details, Charles didn't make it home. Charles is late. Guess where he went to? Angela's. So I guess just walking her to her car wasn't enough. They having some good old aggressive sex. Really enjoying themselves, showering, all that. You see both of them passed out on the floor. When his phone rings, he finds out that he overslept. Zach, all of a sudden Angela's voice is heard. Why is Angela speaking right now? Zach was like, is that Angela? And of course he tried to lie and say, no, that's my mother. And Angela's like, your mother? That gave it away and all that. So at this point, Zach needs him at the house as soon as possible. So while he's getting dressed and all that, someone's at the door. You can imagine who it is. Bryce. Bryce has come over with breakfast, and of course he's alarmed that a guy is with Angela. Single Angela at that, So, of course, he's got his spiel. Who's this? Da, 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 da. Angela already said that to Charles, because Charles thinks that this is going to be a thing. And she's like, look, I'm not ready for no relationship. Da, 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 da. So he just wants a shot. Bryce is, later on, he ended up saying something about trying to get a shot as far as what Charles was saying. And Bryce was like, you're giving him a shot? Da, 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 da. And she was like, let me go call, I forgot the other dude's name, Sean, over here, so he can take care of both of y'all. Angie, you gonna have all... That is so crazy. But anyways, Bryce stays. And basically, she's like, what are you doing here? I just wanted to bring breakfast to you. I thought that we could da-da-da-da-da. He ends up saying, I love you, and I'm just not going to stop trying. Angie keeps saying, this is not what I want. 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 And he won't give up. She's like, we can't even try friends. We tried friends, and look at us now. Anyways, Angie ended up giving in and saying, let's try this friendship thing. But there's got to be some boundaries and all that stuff. Whatever. In court, Fatima's kind of representing, she's not a legal lawyer yet. She's helping out Connie with her case, CPS. Basically, what has happened is CPS is going to be able to do their full investigation in this whole situation. I think she's going to have some visitations, but it's got to be supervised and all that. But anyways, Fatima already said her case still looks okay because all the things that have happened is circumstantial. So we got to see what happens with all of that. Tony and Nate and Zach, they all show up to the court and support all that good stuff. While they're talking, Fatima, the court is adjourned, and Fatima's just asking her as far as her caseworker. You have a caseworker and all that? Like, yeah. And she knows about your cancer, and Connie says yes. Have they offered assistance? She said that she's asked for this, and she has not received the assistance. And then Nate that says that's good, that's going to be good for your case. You can just blame the system on all of this. Fatima's like, no, we just can't blame the system totally. Connie's got to take accountability for her stuff. I agree. All that good stuff. So, next thing you know, a police officer comes in and is asking who owns this black Jeep. Tony. I need you to come with me right now. And he's like, don't tell them. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, look, I'm a monster. Just take me away. I promise it wasn't, I didn't mean to do it. No. I'm like, Tony. That part was cheesy to me. That didn't really need to be, in my opinion. But anyways. So we're off to a good start. I think we're only getting one episode each week now. I think we need two. If we're only going to get half an hour, I'm going to need a whole lot more, because that's just going to not be enough. But, hey, beggars can't be choosers, and we've been begging for Zatima to come back for a very long time. So, I am happy they're back, and I know that they're filming season 5 right now. So, anyways, y'all can tell me your thoughts of how you're seeing the season set up. I'm ready for Leslie to do whatever she's going to do. It's quite a dramatic cliffhanger that just needs to be hung at this point. But let me know your thoughts. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.